Welcome to ePathshala Architecture Lecture Series for postgraduate students. And now we are going to continue on solar water heating systems. The objectives of this lecture is types of solar collectors, solar water heating system design, and components of solar water heating systems, and solar water heating system costing. And here we see the types of collectors, and this is the flat plate collector, and it is proven technology, and it is durable and temperature operating range perfect for solar water heating system and space heating. Collectors shed snow, repairable and competitively priced. And we are seeing here the portion of the collector, and this is the case and this is the glazing, and this is absorber plate. Usually it is black coated at the bottom, and these are the riser tubes where the water will be flowing, and this is the manifold inlet, and this is the insulation, and this is the manifold outlet, and this is the shape of the collector, and it is the case and glassing at the top and absorber plate at the bottom, which is black coated, and through these tubes water will be flowing, and this is manifold inlet and manifold outlet, and it has to be properly insulated to avoid heat wastage. And this is about evacuated tube solar collector. This is little bit advanced when compared with the flat plate collector. Here the air inside the tubes is completely eliminated, and here the vacuum is created, and this is the water channel, circular in size, and this is the absorber plate which is black coated, and this is covered with the glass tube, and this is the cross sectional view of the evacuated tube solar collector, and these are the evacuated tubes, and here the water inlet and water outlet here, and moderately high temperature is possible through this collector, and the collector design varies according to the manufacturer. Some tubes may be having moving components, and glass tubes are fragile in nature, and here through this collector we can go for higher temperature. We can go up to 100 degrees Celsius, whereas in the flat plate collector you can go temperatures up to 70 to 80 degrees Celsius. And then after the flat plate collector and evacuated tube collector, this is further it is advanced when compared with the other two collectors. This is about parabolic trough collector, and in the parabolic trough collector, and this is the collector which is parabolic shape, and this is the receiver or absorber at the center position, and it is circular in size, and the ratio between the collector area and the receiver area or absorber area, that is the concentration ratio. The sun rays will strike the collector, and it gets reflected towards the receiver, and where the concentration effect will be more, and whenever the concentration ratio increases, you get more heat energy out of it. And this is about the parabolic trough collector, that is from the field, and you have the series of parabolic trough collectors, so that you get higher flow rate and high temperature from the outlet. Here the water is going inside, that is blue line, it is about atmospheric temperature, and it is going through the receivers all the way, and then the red line it is comes out with higher temperature, and here, and this is mainly for and power generation application as well as for industrial application, parabolic trough collector. And this is about solar water heating systems types, and this is about unglazed type, that is unglazed EPDM, that is ethylene, propylene and diene and monomer. And so this another one, it is parabolic trough collector, and this is evacuated tube collector, and this is a glazed flat plate collector. And these are the various collectors available. People do research and they change the and pattern of the collectors in order to improve the performance of the solar water heating system. And here we see again types of solar water heating systems, and here we see indirect system, that is heat transfer fluid moves heat from solar collector to the tank. The direct solar heat system that heats water directly, and water in indirect system circulated in two ways, that is active system and passive system. And here and water in flat plate collector, and in some design the water flows directly in the tube and gets heated up. And in some other system, that is indirect system, for high mass flow rate or higher temperature application, that is there will be a heat exchanger, and the heat could be transferred from distilled water to the water, or from some terminal fluid to a water. So, here we see active system and passive system. Active system will have pumps, and pumps heated water from collector to the solar storage tank. And here we have a pump in order to pump the water, that is active system. And this is a passive system, there is no pump used here. This is having a thermosiphon effect, and here there is no pump, and no energy is required to operate the system. And in active system, of course, we have a pump to circulate the water, and this is for higher mass flow rate and for industrial application. For the domestic purpose, and no need to have the pump, and the passive system is more than sufficient. And this is the active solar water heating, so which will have pump, and this is the pump, and here you see a lot of collectors. And if you want to increase the mass flow rate, you can have a series of collectors like this. And this is the solar storage tank, and this is backup water, backup heater through gas or electric. If there is a cloudy day, or if it is a rainy day, and if we do not see the sun, then there is the backup. That time we can use electric heater, or you can use the gas to heat up the water. And when there is the sun, and so we can use solar energy, and the water is passing through the various collectors, and then it comes to the storage tank. And here we have the pump and to water circulation, and this is active solar water heating. So, active solar water heaters rely on electric pumps and controllers to circulate the water. Active solar water heating system, it has direct circulation and indirect circulation system. And here it is about passive solar water heaters, and the two most popular types of passive systems are thermosiphon and integrated solar collectors. And it does not have any pump, and the water is flowing, and because of the density difference in the water, when the temperature increases, the density decreases. Because of the density difference, the water will be circulated automatically, and this is about passive solar water heating system. And efficiency aspects of solar water heating system, that is colder water supply temperatures and increase system efficiency, since the fluid being heated loses less heat to the surrounding air until it reaches higher temperatures. And the colder air temperatures reduce system efficiency by increasing the loss of heat and from the collectors to the air. The potential for system freezing is a serious problem, and many solutions result in reducing system efficiency, and these are the methodologies to increase the system efficiency of solar water heating system. And here we see some typical temperature range and various efficiencies of water heating system, and this is about the flat plate water heating, that is it accepts and both direct radiation and diffused radiation, that is the global radiation, and the temperature range, and you can go up to 40 degrees to 60 degrees Celsius, and efficiency is in the order of 40%. And when we go for evacuated tube water heating, and it accepts global radiation, that is direct radiation and diffused radiation, you can go for higher temperature from 50 degrees to 80 degrees, and the efficiency is in the order of 50%. And evacuated tube with other fluid and low concentration ratio, and it could accept only the direct radiation, the temperature you can go up to 100 to 200 degrees Celsius, the efficiency will be in the order of 50 to 60%. And the cylindrical parabolic collector, parabolic trough collector, and it accepts only the direct radiation, not the diffuse radiation, and the temperature you can go up to 100 to 400 degrees Celsius. Efficiency is further improved, that is 50 to 60 degree 50 to 60%, and parabolic point focus, and it accepts only the direct radiation. You can go up to 1000 degrees Celsius. The efficiency is improved in the order of 70 to 80%, that is parabolic point focus, and these are the various systems, and it gives various temperatures of output, and these are the various efficiency factors. Now, and here and we are going to discuss about the system of water heating system, that is the design of water heating system, and the design of solar water heating system for about 250 liters. For a small family, 4 to 5 people, and 250 liters of hot water may be sufficient for bathing as well as for kitchen purpose. And this is the step number 1, and to design the solar water heating system. This is very simple in design, and so we have taken for a small family, 4 to 5 people, they may require about 250 liters in a day. And the step number 1, and we have to measure the daily available solar radiation, which is about 5.5 units kilowatt hour per meter square in a day. And there are instruments to measure the solar radiation: pyrheliometer to measure the direct radiation, pyranometer to measure the global radiation. So, the pyranometer can be used to measure the solar global radiation, and through which we can get the solar radiation, that is average solar radiation, and it is about 5.5 units per meter square in a day. And we have to calculate useful solar heat energy, and which is actually used to raise the temperature of water. The daily solar radiation, and this is average solar radiation we have taken, that is 5.5 kilowatt hour per meter square in a day. The solar water heater efficiency, it is about 40%, that is 0.4, and when we multiply this, we get 2.2 kilowatt hour per meter square in a day. Then we are converting the watt hour to joules, and 1 watt hour, that is about 3600 joule. So, we are converting the heat energy unit into electrical energy unit, that is 7920 kilojoule per meter square in a day. That is the useful energy available for the solar water heating system. And step number 2, and the heat required to bring the water from the ambient to desired temperature, and the heat capacity of water, we know that is 4.18 kilojoule per kg per degree rise in temperature. The delta or rise in temperature required temperature is about, we have taken about 80 degrees minus ambient temperature, that is about 30 and the difference is 50 degrees Celsius. The mass of the water, that is 1 liter, that is equal to 1 kg, and but we need to have 250 liters. Heat energy required to raise water temperature to desired level every day 4.18, that is the heat carrying capacity of the water, and mass flow rate, that is about 250 liters for the family. Delta T, that is rise in temperature from atmospheric temperature to the desired temperature, that is the difference is 50 degrees Celsius. When we multiply all these things, we get about 52,250 kilojoule required per day. That is the energy requirement per day is 52,250 kilojoule. Step number 3, and through which we can calculate what is the collector area required. Total area of the collector required to fulfill the requirement. Collector area required, that is equal to required heat energy. Just now we calculated 52,250 divided by useful heat energy from the step number 1, and when we divide this, we get the collector area 7 meters squared. So, for to have 250 liters of water heated up to 80 degrees Celsius, and we need to have 7 meters squared of collector area. And then costing of solar water heater, and in order to estimate the cost of solar water heaters, following rules can be used. The typical price of collector is about rupees 5,000 per square meter. The tank and other installation cost, it is about 50% of the collector's cost. Thus, cost of a 250 liter hot water per day system is, that is 7 meter square collector area, and into 5,000 rupees per square meter plus half of 5,000, that is the installation cost. Then that is the total cost required to install the water heating system to have 250 liters of water to an extent of 80 degrees Celsius, and that is about 52,500, and this is simple payback period, and the life of a water heating system is about 50 to 20 years. During this period, significant amount of electricity can be saved, which in turn is saving of money, and this is calculation of payback period. Let us consider 250 liters of daily hot water requirement for about 80 degrees Celsius. As per the calculation, the cost of the water heating system would be about 52,500, and we have to find out how much electricity is required per day to heat 250 liters of water to an extent of 80 degrees Celsius from ambient temperature of 30 degrees Celsius, and the heat energy requirement, that is 4.18, that is heat capacity of the water into 250 liters into 80 is the desired temperature, 30 is the atmospheric temperature. Then we need to have 52,250 kilojoule. So, we are converting that heat unit into energy units, electricity units, and that is 1 watt hour, that is equal to 3,600 joule. Therefore, electrical units required per day, it is about 14.51 kilowatt hour, and but efficiency of the electric water heater is about 90%. Therefore, actual electrical energy supplied is 14.51 divided by 0.9, then you need to have about 16.41 units of electricity. And considering the cost of an electricity electrical energy unit, 1 unit is about 5 rupees, thus total cost of electricity per day 5 into 16.12, which is about 80 rupees 63 paise. So, 1 day we can save 80 rupees of electricity, and let us assume there are about 300 sunny days, and 80.63 into 300 sunny days, that is about 24,190, and number of years in which the investment cost is earned saved is investment, that is 52,500, saving in 1 year when we use solar water heating system instead of using electric heater, and we get the payback period is just 2.17 years. In this way, one can see that the payback period is within 2 to 2.5 years for a water heating system. So, any system which is less than 5 years of payback period, it is really good. So, the water heating system, so when we buy for a family and to have 250 liters of hot water to an extent of 80 degrees Celsius, and for which we have to install 7 meter squared collector area, and the total cost will be about 52,500. But then when we stop using electric heater, and this amount can be taken back within 2 to 2.5 years, and the rest of the years it is great saving. So, the water heating system will work with 15 to 20 years, and about 18 years we can save enormous amount of money when we avoid electric heater for water heating system. Actually, and it is not fair to heat the water by electric heater, and we get electricity out of coal based power plant in majority way. So, in the boiler we load the coal which is in the form of chemical energy, then in the boiler it gets heated up. So, the heat energy is released and it becomes heat energy, and then the water gets heated up and the steam is generated, and it rotates the steam turbine, and so which is converted into mechanical energy, and then it is connected with the generator. Again it is converted to electrical energy, from chemical to heat energy, from heat energy to mechanical energy, from mechanical energy to heat energy. And when we use electric heater, again we are bringing back from electrical energy to heat energy. So, the end efficiency will be very, very low. Instead, for heating application, definitely we can use direct solar energy through solar water heating system, and which is most economical, and it is highly and mature technology. And here we look at that solar water heating applications. So, in swimming pools, when we have larger collector area, so the water can be heated up in the swimming pool. We can have warm water at the time of winter season, and hot tubs and spas, and domestic water heater in office buildings and malls and hotels and motels, and large laundries and kitchens, and facilities in remote areas, and jails and hospitals and dormitories, and process hot water in food processing industry, and hot water cleanup, and hot water rinses, and heat boiler makeup water. So, these are the solar water heating applications, and it is widely used in domestic as well as industry, and in various buildings like office buildings and malls and hotels, and mainly in hotel industry it plays a vital role. And this is about solar heating systems used for various applications, and flat plate collector, and operating temperature is about 70 degrees Celsius, and domestic and industrial water heating, and air heating for drying and space heating, and evacuated tube collector, and you from the ambient to 100 degrees Celsius you can go, and that is for domestic and industrial water heating, and concentrating collector from 100 to 400 for industrial processes. And this is the hot water can be utilized in the cold storage system, and this is about the solar collector and a series of solar collector, and we get hot water out of this, and it is stored in the storage tank, and the hot water can be utilized in the cold storage system, in the cold storage, and mainly in the remote areas where there is no electricity, and the cold storage can be operated through vapor absorption system, and in the vapor absorption system, and we use heat energy, and that heat energy is taken from hot water, and this is the hot water circuit, and in the cold storage system we will have say the generator, and then condenser, and expansion valve, and evaporator here in the vapor absorption system, and the compressor is removed, which is operated by electricity. Here the generator is there and it needs heat energy. The heat energy can be taken from hot water, which is heated by solar energy. And this is the chiller, and the chiller also working on vapor absorption system, and the generator needs heat energy, and the heat energy is taken from hot water, which is heated by the solar energy, and it's a wonderful setup, and lot of applications are possible through hot water. And this is some of the solar water heating systems. This is about evacuated tube solar water heating system, and this is a storage tank. And so this is some of the solar water heating systems, and this is the single panel, maybe for the small family, and this has a double panel and maybe for the bigger family, and for the industry we can have additional panels to have more water and more temperature. And this is about some solar water heating systems, and it is from the town of from Denmark, has 1,300 households connected to the district heating plant, which gets it heat from 3,000 meter squared solar energy collector. Of course, it supplements the heat from town's coal fired plant, and this is, and the households are connected, and they have common solar water heaters, and which is about 3,000 meter squared collector area, and a huge amount of water could be heated up, and it can be connected to various houses. And this is again, and so the massive size of solar water heating system, and it is for the community type applications. It can, the hot water can be fed to number of houses or major industries or hotel industry or canteen, etc. And to conclude, so we have seen about the design of water heating system and various collectors and various applications of solar water heating system, and definitely it is highly cheaper in cost and highly mature technology, and it can be utilized in household sector, and that is domestic sector, industrial sector, as well as commercial sector, to save the electricity. Thank you so much.